Okay. All right. I think click on there it went away. Well, thank you very much, Alan. I appreciate the warm introduction. So hello, everybody, and welcome. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm Dani Tharaldson, Marketing Manager for CareerOneStop.org. Today, I'm excited to share some tips and insights on how to make a smoother transition from military service to a civilian career. Some may be wondering how Career One Stop differs from Military One Source. Military One Source is sponsored by the Department of Defense and offers resources and services specifically for veterans and their families. Career One Stop is sponsored by the Department of Labor and provides self-guided resources and information to help you with your job search and career advancement. We can also connect you to employment services across the U.S. and have specialized resources for those with unique barriers to employment, such as military veterans, workers with disabilities, youth and young adults, those aged 55 plus, and those who have been justice involved. Bottom line, both websites are fantastic resources for veterans. They come from different parts of the government, so my advice is to use both to get a complete picture of your career and employment options. So I'll share a little bit about my background so you can rest assured this entire presentation wasn't just generated by ChatGPT. I consider myself a creative communicator, having worked as a graphic designer, photographer, videographer, and marketer over the past 20 plus years of my career. I started my experience in government 17 years ago as a jet engine mechanic, then cross-trained 8 years later as a military public affairs specialist, and now manage the marketing for Career One Stop website. The second picture in this slide is my wingman and I on top of the St. Paul Capitol building while on duty during the Derek Chauvin trial. I'm especially passionate about helping veterans succeed in their civilian employment and career goals during and after service, as I know firsthand of the unique challenges we face. So today I'll give you a brief overview of Career One Stop and its key features, talk about specific tools to help veterans navigate civilian employment, and end with a quick Q&A. I do go over things fast, so I'll include a handout of the links and tools we mentioned today for quick reference, along with some other links that we won't have time to get to today. So what exactly is Career One Stop? In a nutshell, think of it as a national search engine for career resources and information. You can find tools for job searches, career exploration, education, and training. Some key features of the site to keep in mind. Number one, we are trustworthy and sponsored by DOLETA, which is the U.S. Department of Labor, Employment and Training Administration. We have a national scope, serve all 50 states and U.S. territories, so you can search nationwide. And the most popular feature of all of our resources are 100% free. There is no payment information taken, there's no gimmicks, and we will never have an ad on the site. So the best way to cover these resources is to go out to a browser and live demo the site. So give me 1 second and I will switch things up here and get that going. So I'll start with some great features I want to point out on our homepage, which are mirrored on other landing pages. So over on the top right, there's a globe icon with Espanol that translates the entire site into Spanish. Site search bar is a quick way to find specific content you're looking for. And trust me, I use that thing a lot. There's a lot of information on the site. And user accounts is where you can create an account to save search or assessment results, get suggested resources, and more. The dark blue main navigation bar covers our main content sections: explore careers, find training, job search, find local help, toolkit, and resources for. Resources for features content for more specified audiences, such as workers with disabilities or those with a criminal conviction. So now I'm going to focus on the content most relevant to help military veterans, starting with a quick overview of our specialized site targeted for the unique employment barriers veterans have. Our Veteran and Military Transition Center has many resources to help veterans successfully transition into civilian employment. Again, there's a main navigation bar on top mirroring the site, which features the main content sections: explore civilian careers, back to school, job search, benefits and assistance, and the toolkit. The toolkit is a quick stop for top tools for veterans to help with career research, easily access our job finder, and connect to local resources. This portal integrates content from the Transition Assistance Program, or TAP, from DOL's Veteran Employment Program. Today's focus is most centered on career exploration for transitioning veterans, so I'll return to the main Career One Stop site. I wanted to quickly point out this portal as it's a great place to lead veterans for more self-guided resources and does also include information for spouses. So as a veteran myself, I struggled to translate my military experience and training into civilian career opportunities. Seriously, how many similar jobs are out there for an F-16 jet engine mechanic? I wish I had known about our Veterans Job Matcher back when I was job searching. This tool helps to identify civilian careers that align with military training and experience. So let's try this for Army Infantry. Enter in the MOS and branch, which is 11 Bravo, Army. Results list a variety of civilian occupations and defaults to the best match at the top. Our number one request from veterans is how can they translate their military experience into language civilian employers can understand. Looking across the top line of results, you find what the typical pay grade equivalent is, title of the civilian occupation, which is also linked to our occupation profile that gives a bunch more information, which I'll expand on later. The typical wages is a national median figure. So 50% of people earn more in this field and 50% less. The typical education is what you'd need to get started in the field. The job outlook is a national 10-year projection. And finally, job postings. See Jobs links you to the current job openings. My favorite feature of our tools are the sort by to help narrow in on the best results. On the far left, you will find the filter by options. You can filter by only pay grade, which can be extra helpful when vets are in senior leadership ranks. If you, for instance, don't want to go back to school, you can filter results to include education requirements at only a high school diploma level or bachelor's degree, etc. At the bottom of the filters, we have a sidebar for additional information about our tools and data if you're curious where this data is sourced from. The widget above the filter by options is a great way to switch between different MOSs, especially if you've held more than one in your career. Now let's further customize these results under the sort by options. I think many vets have unrealistic expectations of what kind of money they will make once they get out. Sort by wages to help get a better feel for what the actual civilian earning expectations are. Or let's say we have an Army vet who separates as a staff sergeant or E6 and wants results that are equivalent to their pay grade. Sort by pay grade to see which civilian occupations best match. A note about this tool, pay grade information is only available for certain common occupations and can be used to know if a civilian career opportunity is appropriate. So once you've narrowed it down and want to learn more, let's say about correctional officers, we'll want to focus back on the job postings category where See Jobs, again, links us to the current job openings. In addition to being able to apply for jobs, this is also a great way to gather more information on civilian careers. Selecting one of the job title listings, like Deputy Sheriff, shows the current job posting and how employers talk about that type of job and can also help pinpoint if it's a good match for what you're looking for. Back on these results lists and other pages, you may have noticed these icons on top of the results charts. They're fairly intuitive, so I won't go into great detail, but just know you're able to print, email, or even save these results to your Career One Stop user account. Next, we'll move on to our Explore Careers section. So our Explore Careers section is located on the homepage at the far left end of the navigation bar. Under the first heading, Self-Assessments, we'll take a closer look at our 3 free quizzes after a quick overview of this section. Learn About Careers offers ways to do easy research on different occupations. The What's Hot provides lists for your state, including the occupations that are growing fastest, highest paying, have the most openings, are in decline, and more. Under Plan Your Career, similar information is available, but for industries. So these help you do the research to choose an occupation and an industry that is going strong in your local area. The salaries link takes you out to explore current typical pay ranges for 800 different occupations. So these filter down to metropolitan service areas, so you can get a solid idea of what civilian pay will be regionally and nationally. Licensed occupations allows you to learn about professional licensure requirements in your state. So now let's take a look at these 3 free. I'm going to start with the interest assessment as I see it as one of our most valuable tools. Benefits to using this include matching careers to activities you enjoy doing, exposing you to new or different career options you may not have considered before, identifying your transferable skills, building vocabulary to speak more concisely about yourself, and highlights jobs you may be able to see yourself doing. This assessment only is 30 questions, so it's quick and takes about an average of 10 to 12 minutes typically. Users select answers based on their level of interest in each activity, and you can easily change your answers. The results page gives you lots of great information to explore career options. It displays the number of career matches at the top, which varies based on your responses. The columns work similarly to the veteran jobs tool that we just covered, with a career title, job outlook, then median hourly wage and education. Again, there are also great filtering options to help narrow down the results on both the left side of the page and the sort by function. Let's say I don't want to do any more training or spend the time and money to go back to school. I can select some preparation from the filters on the left, and that will narrow my list down to only those options on my list that require a high school diploma equivalent or less. If I already have a bachelor's degree, I can select high preparation and see which options I'm already qualified for. Our interest assessment uses the Holland Code system, which has been validated with diverse audiences for several decades. This gives you a common language to better talk about yourself in the acronym REASEC: realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. Clicking on the What Does My Score Mean link in the upper left widget shows you how your responses relate to these 6 interest areas. Expandable short descriptions follow your REASEC results to further expand on the language. We recommend focusing on the strongest 2 to 3 interest themes. So as you can see, I scored highest in the social theme. Reading through the details, I'd see if the descriptors listed are relatable. Am I someone who tends to be helpful, understanding, responsible, friendly, and or patient? What fits? What doesn't? Does this accurately describe who I am? The details continue below with more about what you may like to do related to careers like teaching, counseling, nursing, facilitating communications, helping solve social problems, etc. These are rich prospects to help you explore how interests developed through military experience may map into the civilian career and education paths. So that's an overview of the interest assessment. Let's look at skills next. The skills matcher has you rate your skill and knowledge levels on 40 dimensions. So your results look similar to interests, but here your list of careers match your existing skills and knowledge. You'll notice that some answers have descriptive text, like the first item you rate, your administration and management skill level, and beginner indicates complete a timesheet. This is anchor text to help users assess their skill level accurately and so ensure the results make sense. A special feature of the skills matcher results is you can see your full list of skills, grouped by those you rated highest, middle, and lowest. This can provide you with more skill language you can use in a resume, networking, and just helping to talk about your strengths. This tool is great to see careers related to what you already know and can do. We wouldn't recommend it as much for those who plan a big leap away from their primary skill areas. Now moving on to our last assessment, focusing on values. So the work values matcher has a different focus. Here, we're exploring what aspects of a job or workplace provide meaning to you. We see this tool as particularly important for veterans, as many of us gained a sense of purpose from our military experience, which is a lot harder to determine and find in the civilian world. This tool can help name your work values and find the types of careers and employers that will be more satisfying to work for. This tool uses a card sort. So there's a stack of cards in the middle of the page. Each has a statement about different qualities of jobs or a workplace. You rate the level of importance from most to least important. For each quality, that would be your ideal job situation. For example, the top card asks, how important is it to me to use my talents and abilities on the job? So I'll say that's somewhat important. I can drag and drop a card to my rating level or just put my cursor on the middle column and click and the card will move there. The power of this tool comes in its limits. You are only allowed 4 statements in each category. So while I may want all these features in my ideal job, I really have to evaluate which conditions are truly essential to me, and if forced to make a choice, which could I let go? This process can take some time, but our users often find it quite engaging. When you have rated the importance of all 20 statements, you'll see what you value from most to least important. So as you can see on the results page, the algorithm provides a translation of your priorities into work values. The 6 universal values are from ONET data, like the interest assessment. You can read a short definition of each value and click the Learn More About link for more details. So these value results are in 2 parts, as shown in this example of the achievement value where I scored highest. First, it describes how this value shows up in work culture, how to determine whether your work values are a good match with the employer, job interview questions you can ask, etc. The second part is a blue button you can click on that lists careers that feature the selected value. So for example, I can learn which careers highlight the most achievement opportunities. All of the assessment results link out to our occupation profile, which we'll delve into now. Our occupation profile provides a lot of data in one place. It's great for career research and can be accessed ways. You can look any career up under the career profiles link in this section, or link out from any job title in the Veterans Job Matcher or career assessments. Our example today features training and development specialists in Minnesota. So we have profiles for more than 900 different occupations, and each uses cards for the categories of information. The career data starts with a basic description and a career video that shows work tasks, settings, equipment, etc. Next, you can learn about the employment outlook. It's a 10-year projections and annual number of openings expected. It's helpful to know if a field is growing if you're planning to train for that work. Scroll down for typical wages, where you can see the pay range from entry level to more experienced workers in the field. Then understand the education and work experience needed to get started in the field. The links here will take you to the programs and schools in your desired location where you can train for this career. Below that are details on professional certifications, licensure requirements for your state, and apprenticeships to prepare for the field. You can review the knowledge, skills, and abilities used in the career and also see whether some of your military experience relates or if you could make use of it in this career. It also lists related occupations to explore further options. And soon we're going to be adding 3 new categories of data to these profiles, which are going to be industries that hire in this occupation, technology and tools typically used, and work values most closely associated with the career. So these are great for looking into specific occupations, but some of us may only have a vague idea of what we want to do. What then? So if you just have a general idea of what you like, for example, you enjoy working with computers or want to explore healthcare, career clusters are a great way to start exploring and discovering a variety of careers within one broad category. There are 17 clusters, each grouped by related types of work and further arranged by education levels to help narrow in on your career interests. So for each cluster, as with this example under government and public administration, you can learn about definitions, trends, special features of work in the cluster, related industries, and types of employers. There is an overview video with general information on each cluster as well. Those are, in a nutshell, Career One Stop's most powerful career exploration tools for transitioning veterans. And there's so much more to discover on the site, but one last area to mention is our footer. I use this all the time as a quick access hub to additional resources. I use it most to look up videos, quickly find a specific portal like the veteran site, and also how to find our how-to guides, which are great tools that provide self-guided assistance through our resources. In closing, I'd like to remind you this site is a great resource, whether you're looking for a job, finding ways to advance your career, or just learn more about the state of the workforce. I like to say we have some resources for any stage of your life. I've created a list of all the links we discussed and added some additional resources we won't quite have time to get to. So thank you everybody for your time and attention. You can see here, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We do monitor emails and social media daily. Any questions I can help answer right now?